Welcome back to Winning the Rig Game. As usual, this is not investing advice, it's just my opinion. I figured I'd put out another video. Is Tesla a growth stock, a safe haven stock, or a value stock? I would argue right now, it's all three. Okay, let's start with the definitions. What is a growth stock? Investing in growth stocks, you're usually looking for returns. Either the share price increases, revenues, profits, and cash flow grow faster than the rest of the market overall. Arguably, that's what Tesla is. And in this type of environment, it hasn't been working. Just look at ARK Invest and their portfolio. Everything growth has been destroyed. Okay, what's a value stock? A value stock is companies that share price is lower than their fundamentals suggest they should be. I would argue right now, Tesla qualifies as a value stock. Where else are you going to see this kind of returns? 50% growth at a certain point, that becomes a value stock. Okay, what's a safe haven? A safe haven is a type of investing where it's expected to retain its value during market turmoil or uncertainty. Well, Tesla has gone down like the rest of the market, but is it going to keep going down? At this point, I would argue it's a safety play. Its risk of downside is a hell of a lot less than it was when it was trading at 1200. So what are some of the fundamental stories for Tesla? We finally got past the Twitter uncertainty. That was putting a lot of pressure on Tesla's stock. The Q3 earnings were very good. They missed their delivery numbers according to the street. They really didn't. They just moved those orders to Q4. So Q4 is going to be probably stronger as a result. I don't really consider that a miss. Wall Street considered it a miss and hammered the stock. If you look at the fundamentals and everything that they reported, it was phenomenally strong. Just recently, Tesla cut prices in China. Tesla was raising prices throughout the year. Commodities were costing more, absolutely. But it was really to limit demand. They had almost a year backlog in some markets. Tesla really can't plan when orders are that far out. They don't know what's going to happen. Having orders that far out is a risk. I'm glad Tesla raised prices. Now they can reduce prices. From all the accounts we heard, they've spurred demand. Supposedly, they brought down Tesla's ordering page. What are some other tailwinds for Tesla? Well, let's take a look at a bull. Gary Black is listing global EV adoption is soaring. That's hard to argue. In January, the U.S. is going to get an EV tax credit that's going to stimulate adoption in the U.S. Tesla is one of the few companies that's going to be able to benefit from that in a massive, massive way. They're going to get extra benefits from producing their own batteries and assembling the packs. Tesla's also announced a Berlin expansion, and they continue to build out Austin, and we know the Cybertruck is going to start production probably the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year. We're probably going to get new Gigafactory locations. A lot of people think it's going to be in Canada. That's a possibility. Or Northeast US, maybe Pennsylvania. I can see both. I also think Brazil is a likely possibility, and Indonesia. So who knows? Maybe we're going to get 3 factory announcements this year. We're also going to get the full self-driving in a wide rollout. It's still going to be in beta. I'm very sure it's going to stay in beta, but it's going to be basically supplied to whoever ordered full self-driving. The Tesla Semi is starting December 1st. That's just a month away. I also expect to see some announcements regarding the energy business. Tesla is expanding like crazy and finally have the cell capacities to expand that business. When the 4680s roll out, I think that's going to be another factor that's going to either free up additional cells or allow for massive scaling. I think we're going to eventually get a battery day too. What are Tesla's battery plans? Are they going to roll out a lithium iron version of the 4680s? Love to see it. So the bottom line is, this has been a brutal freaking year for investing. Tesla was smacked down like pretty much everything else. Tesla's down from its highs like every other stock. And now it's at a level that seems to be an amazing value. They're expanding production, they're investing in the future, and they're growing at 50% rate. This year, they're probably going to produce 1.4 million cars. Next year, who knows? That's with Giga Austin and Giga Berlin just barely ramping up. Berlin is going to be getting the Giga castings. So next year, we can expect a 50% growth. And that's just the stuff that we know about right now. Yeah, it's no fun that Tesla's down again today, just slightly, $1.75 at the time of this recording, but I'm not worried about today. I think the next month or two are going to be very positive. If we get a peace deal, who knows, hopefully possible in the Ukraine, we could also get a share buyback this year. The board approved it, and if it looks like they're going to have a great Q4, which all reports are pointing to, maybe they're going to do it this year to save the 1% that they'll have to pay in penalty next year. So that's another possible catalyst for this year. Listen, there's always risks. China still has that crazy COVID lockdown policy, and they just closed Disney in Shanghai and locked up and testing everyone that was there. The madness over there hasn't stopped, and that could affect Tesla. And these are the reasons why Gigafactory Berlin and Austin are increasingly more important. Right now, the majority of production is coming out of Shanghai. That has to be balanced out by additional factories. And we're going to get those announcements hopefully this year. So this week, we have the Fed meeting, and we don't know whether we're going to get a 50 basis point or a 75 basis point increase. We're just going to have to wait and see. So this week is going to be particularly volatile. There's always uncertainty in investing, and this year especially so. With China, Russia, the Fed raising rates, there are no guarantees. But Tesla's one of the strongest companies, one of the few growth companies. I would say it's a value stock now and a safe haven stock. It's been beaten down so much, I think most of the damage has been done. So I'm going to stick with Tesla. Everyone's got to do their own investing. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment. That'd be very helpful.